This is the Cable Matters car charger that has dual USB charging ports and a lighter socket built into it. Let me show you the front of that. It has two ports for the USB, one for the 2.4 and one for the 1 amp. In addition, there's the cigarette lighter plug for, plugging in devices that need that. Some of the older stuff. This is a solidly made one-piece charger, and that has, of course, pros and cons to it. This is a well-made. It's very solid, good plastic. Good little charger. But again, there's pros and cons to this. This particular device is not for every type of car dash. I mean, it works for mine, but for dashes that have tight spaces or dashes that have cigarette lighters that are kind of sunken in or inset, I would call, this device probably won't work for that type of dash. It would be good if there was a little bit of a flexible neck or something like that that would make this a little bit easier to fit in, but this isn't that type of device. Of course, the advantage to this type of device is there's no wiring to break, as cigarette lighting chargers tend to do over time. I've had a number of the wires give up on, the kind that use wires or flexible lines and that kind of thing, especially with phone chargers. Phone chargers are notorious for that. This has the capability of charging all the devices basically at the same time. You can charge a smartphone, a tablet, or something on a cigarette lighter, pretty much all at the same time, which is cool. Has overload protection. Cable Matter indicates they have a smart chipset that keeps from damaging devices or your car if you overload it, which is good. I tested this on a variety of different devices, like I always do with a lot of these things, because I have a variety of different USB things that need charging these days, including my Galaxy S4, a tablet that I have, my old Droid X that sits in the drawer most days, various USB head devices, including my headphones and some other Bluetooth devices, and my old BlackBerry. This worked for everything but the BlackBerry. I've had issues with certain chargers for some reason or another that don't play nice with the BlackBerry specifically. So this is not just endemic to this USB cigarette lighting device. I've had wall chargers, I've had car chargers that don't always play nice for some reason with the BlackBerry. I don't know whether that's just because the BlackBerry is an old device or whether they just didn't take into account older devices when they built it. So keep that in mind. If you have older devices, older phones, this may not always work. But for the most part, this worked for about everything else that I threw at it, or worked for everything else that I threw at it, except the BlackBerry BlackBerry phone. Overall, though, this is a solid charger for your car. Again, this may not work for everybody's dash. I mean, if it worked for my two cars, my Ford and my other car. It worked fine for them because of the way the dash is designed, but it may not work. This type of plug may not be practical for every type of car dash. And again, you got to watch out if you have older devices. This may not always work for charging those. But other than that, this is a decent charger, and I give it 4 stars.